Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Matt and John Make a Podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Matt.
And today we are going to be talking, going over NXT Takeover, and also have some thoughts on SummerSlam. We're going to be talking about the Antonio Brown saga that's going on over in Oakland. That is a freaking mess over there, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about this weekend's upcoming UFC 241 being headlined by Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title of the world. But first, we're going to be talking about NXT Takeover Toronto. Matt, what did you think of the show?
Like pretty much all the takeovers, they deliver, always entertain. Even the worst match is still a pretty good match on these type of shows. Pretty much everybody delivered. I really got to saw Street Profits for the first time, actually, since I don't watch the weekly television show as much as I should. But the Street Profits, they are stars. They're over like Rover, to take a phrase.
Just like they, and Montez Ford specifically, he just has so much charisma. That man just jumps off of your television screen. I was really happy that they retained their titles. I was kind of shocked, to be perfectly honest. I thought for sure that they were going to plan a clean sweep of the undisputed era because about I would say 6 months or 8 months ago, there was a mini storyline where Adam Cole talked about the whole undisputed era winning all of the titles, which I thought that it would be really possible, especially with the Street Profits appearing periodically on Monday Night Raw, and also they had a triple threat for the North American Championship, which I thought that one of the main reasons why they added Pete Dunne into that match was so that
he could take the fall,
which he did.
Yeah.
But I thought for certain that they were going to be putting that title onto Roderick Strong, and eventually moving up Velveteen Dream onto Adam Cole. But that did not turn out to be the plan there, and to me, probably my favorite match was probably the North American Championship. Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae was a very good women's match. Candice kicked out of a lot of stuff. They told a good story. It was very similar to a Johnny Gargano match. It was very similar to that, but Io looked really good here. Candice looked probably really good in this loss here.
This match was one of those matches that both competitors came out looking better than when they came in my opinion.
Yep.
Because Candice, again, since I don't watch as much as the weekly television,
I
haven't seen. Yeah,
this was
coming out.
Yeah, this was like her first real opportunity to really show, what she can really do. I definitely think now that they have to go with Io versus Shayna Baszler now.
Again,
just because you just look at the other contenders, and I was not a very big fan of them doing Shayna versus Mia Yim, just because I think
because based on like what you're telling me has happened in the past here, because again, I haven't seen. I felt like Mia might have been a stopgap to get that feud started, and Io and Candice move the Io. If Io wins, and if they call up Shayna, which is possible whenever, then you can have Candice and Io go for it.
Yeah,
continue that feud.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, after that, I was just thinking to myself, man, they really need to start to get some more contenders here. And the thing about it is they have such a deep roster full of women's wrestlers such as like Chelsea Green. There's also she was a former ROH wrestler. Her name escapes me, but she's currently dating Marty Scurll. I forget her name. But
oh my god.
But yeah. Or no, sorry, Deanna Peraza. That was her. So like they have really good women. They just need to build. They need to build up the division.
I think once they get Shayna out and called up, then that opens up
everything else,
the floodgates. I think because you have Shayna. Because what else do you do with Shayna right now?
I mean, outside of the Io match, I really don't know what else that you could possibly do with her. Because I mean, I would have been fine too if Candice would have won, because then she is your clear top baby face for the woman right now. But I think with the amount of like build that they did with Io, she kind of had to win here because you know, with her turning heel, it would have been pretty much cutting her legs out if they would have had Candice win here, and that's probably would have been something that a Vince McMahon would have probably done. But I'm really glad that they did that. What'd you think of Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano?
Like always, I know that wasn't going to disappoint.
No.
I appreciated the fact that that it took forever to get that first fall, because you see with a lot of
Rey Mysterio versus Andre Cien Almas from Raw. Literally,
see,
their first fall was like within like 90 seconds. Like, it was just ridiculous.
That one I'm okay with. I still don't like it because there was tomfoolery with Selena, but there's been matches people like get like knocked out and get the first fall within like the first like 90 seconds without any outside interference, and it's just like, because when you have an actual match, let's say you have a 20-minute match, it takes one fall to get 20 minutes to get one fall, which this match, according to Wikipedia, went 46 minutes 41 seconds.
Which honestly, I think that if there's one really big criticism about this match, it went on way too long.
I don't know. I was more entertained. There was no point. I'm like,
I was, but just strictly because they've had like three prior matches to this year, two prior ones. I just felt like it kind of dragged, and with the freaking kickouts, they were just getting over the top.
I could say if you take 10 minutes off of it, but I was still okay. I was still okay with it. I like the barbed wire steel cage match. It was different. I mean, the last time we had a barbed wire steel cage match was No Way Out 2005. I was there. Okay. JBL versus Big Show.
Did like Foley and Triple H have one too? I want to say that
a barbed wire steel cage match. I don't think.
I want to say or no, wait, no, that was that was Hell in
That was Hell in
a
a Cell.
Cell. Yeah, that was Hell in a Cell.
But this time there was weapons all across, and I think they did it good. I was good with it. I enjoyed it. I liked the finish. The fall off the top of the cage through the tables, well, actually one table, and then Cole just rolled over enough to get the pin. I'm interested to see, like we talked about before, Cole's champion, but the rest of Undisputed Era is not. So that's interesting to see what happens going forward. Velveteen Dream, guess I gotta say because of the podcast. I agree with him keeping it. Make him strong. EO1, she's good. Street Profits are stars. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In my opinion, it was just another solid show.
Yep. No complaints there. And also, and literally this news dropped like 1 day after we filmed last week's podcast. Was according to the Wrestling Observer, NXT will be going live on October 2nd, which is the same night that AEW's show begins with their TV 2 hours live on Fox Sports 1. Matt, what do you think of this news?
I think I missed the Monday Night Wars when it first happened back in the late 90s. So what would be as good as that one? No, because nothing can beat it. But for me, and I think all wrestling fans, I think it should be exciting because you're going to have either you flip the channel or you decide which one eventually you're going to record and watch later if you want to watch both.
Well,
then there's competition.
It's going to push both companies. Like, they're going to have to bring it every single week.
I don't see how this is a win-win situation for us, the fans, and it should
for
be
the fans.
And
yes,
it should be for the companies too.
I would say yes, but I think the problem is like you are targeting virtually the same exact audience with AEW and NXT, and you're kind of like splitting it down the middle. So
that almost happened back in the day, but you had a lot more people.
Well,
a lot more people.
Watching. There was to Impact then they had that casual audience, whereas right now it's basically your hardcore fans are.
But I think in this day and age, to unlike back then, now you have DVR, so you can miss a show entirely. And say, okay, I'm going to watch AEW now, and then maybe after or tomorrow I'll catch up on NXT. I can still watch both, but I don't have to sit there, flip through the channel, flip back and forth, and be like, oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? Because back in the day, obviously, there was no DVR. It was just you watched it live. If you missed it, you missed it. Yeah. There was no YouTube. There's no whatever. So now... yes, there's a war, but it's not going to be as... It's going to be key to see just the numbers, who watches what live, which we've talked about ad nauseum, that if AEW is going to win right off the bat because it's new, everybody wants to see it. Let's look down a year down the road and see what happens.
If you had to pick one show to watch between the two
on the second,
you get which
one? You watch AEW because it's new. You don't know what to expect.
Yep, that's kind of how I feel too.
NXT, we know what you're gonna get, which is it's not a bad thing. But AEW is new. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's something new. You want to see what they're going to do, so you're going to watch.
And to another thing, too, in regards with that is NXT's TV. While it's solid, it's nothing that you feel that you absolutely have to see. I feel like they need to put on consistent, really good TV to make me change my mind and say, oh, I definitely need to be watching this over AEW.
Is what, hopefully, if you have competition, be like, okay, NXT, okay, we got to do this.
Yep.
We got to be better than them, which should help everybody. I think it's just a good thing all around.
I will say this though.
For us,
it was also there's a report out there as well that possibly Vince might have more creative input into NXT, and if this is true, NXT is screwed because as we have seen with both Raw and SmackDown, like I don't think that is a successful formula because the good thing about NXT is it's completely different from Raw and SmackDown. If you just make it exactly like that, like you're going to lose a lot of viewers, in my opinion. There,
I feel like, okay, if I'm Vince, I would
stay the hell out.
I would be there, but not be there. I would just be there watching.
He should just let Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, let them. I'm like Scott Hall. Let those guys do what they need to do. What they are doing, that is perfectly fine, and it's working. Like, you interfering is only going to be making things worse. And I mean, like, I really hope that Vince stays out of the way and just lets Triple H do his thing.
I think we can talk about rumors all we want because everybody expects, it's going on TV, Vince is going to be there. But
well, and especially too, they are going on a Fox channel,
and there's also rumors that Fox is going to have more control over SmackDown because they hired which is pretty evident, but just because they had a job posting of I forget the actual title, but it's to oversee part of the show.
Yeah,
which
continuity and
which I'm not surprised. I feel like any network would want that for any show.
But I think too is and I said this in an earlier podcast, how they are treating the WWE is completely different how they treated the UFC. Like, they have so much more, so much more. They want to be more part of the WWE, just because too, like they have content every single week. And too, when you are paying them $1 billion, like you want your stamp, and you really want this to succeed.
You want to gain back your investment.
And too, I think they are making it abundantly clear too, like they want more of a sport related product because too, they want to advertise this on football,
that's
World Series, during the World Series, and pretty much any other sporting events that they do.
It's going to be interesting with the playoffs starting next month, or leading up to it, or even weekend games Fox has. I don't know if they've been showing it, but ramp up the advertisements.
It's going to happen.
Football during football season, Sunday games, and they don't play. Fox only has the Sunday. They don't have Thursday anymore, right? They used to. They switched like every week, but just Sunday enough. Sunday enough.
Actually, no. I think they still do because they signed a huge contract with the NFL. Yeah, it's on.
Regardless, Sunday. It's a big day.
Thursdays and Sundays. Yeah.
That's pretty good advertising.
Well, and two, like, and I think outside of the NFL, that for Fox, that is their most important content right now because
that's your number 2.
Well, because too, like, what other show is going to be getting 2.5, like 2.3 million viewers every single week? Like, there's not gonna be like
consistently.
Yeah, and two, it's for 52 weeks. Like, it's pretty
Fox
clear.
Has as a big sports a grab on the sports.
Yeah.
You've got, like we said, you got football, you got Super Bowl whenever they have it for
College football.
Yeah. You have golf.
World
you have
Series.
the World Series. You have golf. You have the U.S. Open. NASCAR, right? Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
At various points.
Yeah.
So you have all these big sports platforms that can all advertise, and it's just it's for, I think, for both. If it all works out, it's like, I'm gonna say win-win again.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, it's going to eventually force Vince to finally change how he does business because
it's going to have to
because he has always hated treating wrestling like an actual sport, and I feel like that in today's era, that's kind of what you need to actually do. Like, people want a more serious wrestling product. I mean, that is why NXT was so popular and currently it is still popular. It's just because it's taken more seriously. There is more logic built into their storylines and with their feuds, and I feel like those are the two main things that this company really needs to pretty much set a foundation for when they go into Fox.
And plus, there's also reports that they're going to like change the camera angles and all that. It's going to look totally different.
Welcomed, like
it's going to be so different than you're going to have Raw and you're going to have SmackDown. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, like
SmackDown's going to look so and feel so different.
Yeah, and we'll see how that goes there. So, all right. So let us roll right into SummerSlam. What'd you think of SummerSlam, Matt?
Going into the last hour or so,
it was a very
it was a C. It
show.
Was an average.
Yeah.
There was some good stuff. There wasn't anything too crazy to me. I had it as a C, and then I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was a show. But the match that surprised me the most, that last week I said that it could have easily disappointed, was Charlotte and Trish.
That did surprise me, but nowhere did. Like, I thought for sure Seth and like Lesnar was going to be shit.
Yes,
I thought that was going to be awful.
I didn't think I didn't think the match per se was going to be bad. I thought the reaction with the crowd to both of them was going to be bad, and it didn't. They were like,
they got the crowd.
It was invested. I was like shocked, and it was like the best match of the night
by far. And
it was great
too. Like, it made that from a below average show to at least an average show.
It took me, and we'll get to the other part that brought this up. It took me from a C to a B minus. So if you go the plus minus scale, 2 spots for me.
Yeah, like it went from from a C minus for me to a C plus.
So 2 spots for you. Fair enough.
Like because like up until Charlotte and Trish, like all of those other matches really honestly felt like TV matches to me. Like what was AJ and Ricochet was so disappointing. I mean, like after seeing that, I think it became even more abundantly clear to me. It became clear to me that Father Time has caught up to AJ Styles. Like it just, like he really hasn't had a really great match probably since his match at Survivor Series against Lesnar. And now
maybe just them and him and Ricochet didn't have.
I guess, but man, like,
I don't understand.
But man, like, how can you not have a great match with Ricochet? It blew my mind.
It was
blew
good, but I don't know.
Then we had like what it was Bayley and Ember Moon, which that was really disappointing. The crowd was completely dead, just like no one cared. And then Becky and
Natalya. That wasn't bad in my opinion.
It wasn't terrible,
but the crowd was in it because it was Natalya, so it was good. It was a good submission match.
It was there. It was. It wasn't terrible, but
it wasn't the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. But I enjoyed it. After it was done, I was like, that wasn't bad. It was good.
But I will say, though, Charlotte and Trish really did surprise me because
I just thought it was just going to be not ring rust, but it was. But it was good.
Both of them showed really good chemistry. Their timing was really good.
I wish it wasn't a one-off.
I kind of disagree with that. Like I can
watch another match.
Well, yeah, I can too. I just think with their second match, it would be really hard to be able to top this one. And I think that this is the perfect way for Trish to go out.
If that was her last, which it is, I'm perfectly fine. But I would want to watch another one.
Yeah.
And but anyways, but the story of the night, John.
The Fiend.
We gotta let him in.
That entrance with that lantern with that theme music was some of the most eerie, creepy. Like if I had kids, they would have been tearing their eyes apart.
We were watching it here. I was sitting in this chair, and John was on the couch, and my eyes were on that TV the whole time. Usually, because we're millennials, watching stuff, whatever it be, we're checking Twitter for reactions because we care about what other people say, apparently.
Absolutely.
But that didn't happen here. Our eyes were on the TV. We were glued. Everybody was talking about that after. It was so good.
Like that might have been probably one of the best non-Taker entrances.
Non-Taker WrestleMania entrances.
Hell, like outside of like him and like a Velveteen Dream within like the last in the last 5 years or so here. Like it just like it was completely different. Like it felt special, and it stood out from everything else on the show. Like if they build this right, if they treat this right, they have another superstar in Bray Wyatt. But they need to be careful because unlike with the last time, because when they had him versus Cena, and they just had Cena just go right through him on 3 consecutive pay-per-view matches, and he never recovered.
I forgot about that.
Never recovered. They need stars in the absolute worst way.
And if this is Heyman's idea, that they held him off of Raw the next night because they don't want to overexpose it. So you want that feeling of when's he coming out?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes out, lights go off, bam, attack. I like it.
Yep.
I wanted to see him, but like it makes sense. You got something special.
I had zero issue with them not showing, unless he is appearing for a very good reason, is to build up to a feud, to build up to a match. And
you can do, if he's not on TV physically, you can do a Firefly Funhouse thing to build the thing up, and it has that creepy thing. That's one of those situations right now that he doesn't have, like, you don't have to be there to build it up.
No.
It's perfect. You can do so much that it's entertaining.
They can get really creative with this.
The one move that popped me is when he had Finn Balor. Finn Balor was like on the ground, and he had Finn Balor's head.
Oh yeah,
and he like twisted he snapped it.
Yeah.
Like he snapped it. I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
that was the creepiest thing.
I mean, like
so
that was really cool. Like
it was cool. It was creepy. I was like, oh, it's so good. Yeah. Everything about it is great. The music, I think by Code Orange, I think the name of the band.
I believe so.
From Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
A little shout out. And the mask from, oh my God, I forget the guy, special effects guy. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. He's from our area too. Oh my God. Anyways,
it was Head.
the head and the mask.
Or no, Al Snow's head.
Yeah, ripped.
What does everybody want?
I'm in a high school. I'm not going to say. I work a teaching assistant. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, but
I like my job.
But yeah, that was good. But Seth versus Brock, like that
match of the night,
that really stunned me. Just I did not expect that. Like this also confirmed another thing to me. When Brock is serious, when he's ready to get down to actual business and put on a really good match, he could put on a really damn good match. Like this was,
if set out right, yeah, it's good.
Like it was, I think it went about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer.
But it was a good 15 minutes. Yep. It wasn't suplex F5.
No. He was actually
it told us somewhat of a story.
Yeah, he was actually doing stuff.
It told something.
And like honestly, this made Seth look. This was
his
first.
Everybody back.
Yeah, like this was the first time where it started making Seth look like more of a main event star, which to be perfectly honest, I haven't seen that in a very, very long time. But I mean, like, just a really awesome match. I was stunned that Seth won back his title. I thought for certain that they were going to be keeping that onto. I'm
happy because it's there every week now. Mm-hmm. But the question is, and we can transition into quick Raw and SmackDown thoughts. Mm-hmm. Who faces Seth next?
I mean, I gotta think. I mean, just based off of how Raw ended, Braun Strowman looks to be the guy there.
They had that tease there, which if he is the person, the challenger, he's got to win this time.
Yeah,
I want the title on somebody else.
Yep.
Mainly.
Yep.
because it seems like it's just been Seth, Roman, maybe
and Brock.
And Brock. I meant to say Brock and Roman. It seems like it's just those three.
And
I could be wrong.
I believe the only other champions have been Goldberg, Kevin Owens, and
Finn Balor.
Yep.
So they have it on Braun. If they put it on Braun, I forgive everything else. Because
I mean, I feel like that if you do that, but I mean, like you gotta think that if that match happens, there's going to be shenanigans, especially if Seth retains, because I don't know how you're gonna really buy Strowman getting pinned clean, but then again Seth pinned Lesnar clean then too. So I mean, I just don't think that if they do that match, I mean, like Strowman really should honestly win if they want to like salvage anything.
I feel like if of Heyman's perspective, he wants to build, because it's obvious, he's a big fan of Strowman.
Yeah.
I think he needs to beat him the first time. Be like, okay, Seth can beat Lesnar twice, but he can't beat Braun this time.
Yep.
Even though we know what happened in the past, and Braun lost to Brock and all that stuff. But I feel like this Monday was more of a show that showed me that, okay, we had our storylines going up in the SummerSlam. We had to get here. Here's a restart. Let's move forward. That's what it felt like to me. It was more like there was something more stuff going on than what
I wouldn't say that because it did feel like still there was a ton of like a filler on the show, like Bobby Roode versus No Way Jose.
I felt like there was more to this. I'm okay with that if that leads to more Bobby Roode getting built back up. I felt like that was like anything. Yeah. But I feel like to make Robert Roode more to build him up, you got to start somewhere. And if you throw a little match with them, sure, have people remind, okay, he's still here. Let's build him up a little bit so you can put him in something, because you just put something out of the way. Let's say if you put him in I'm throwing this out, a number one contenders match, what the hell, against Roman Reigns. I'm just throwing something out. Nobody's going to believe Robert Roode wins. Not one person.
Nope.
So you gotta almost start over, build him back up to make him somewhat credible.
Which is where the whole king of the ring comes in, because
it's back, baby.
Because
back.
I think with that specifically, you can easily rebuild someone's persona, their character, and everything with just that thing there.
Who's in it? That, oh my God,
out of the
Chad Gable.
Yeah, out of the confirmed guys who are confirmed, it's Kevin Owens,
of course. Out of the confirmed guys that are confirmed.
Yeah. Of the guys who are confirmed,
pissed John off.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. I believe that also Baron Corbin is in
Corbin.
If I just want anyone to win except for Baron Corbin, anyone except
I want him to win now, just so you can come on and rant about it.
Oh my God! And this one guy who I follow on Twitter is the biggest Baron Corbin nut hugger, and if he wins, I'm
wait.
Is the biggest?
Wait, say that again.
Is the biggest Baron Corbin nut hugger, and if he wins this tournament, it's going to be
physically impossible.
It's going to be my living nightmare. So I pray that. Anyway, I will take Dolph freaking Ziggler winning it over Baron Corbin.
I can't get over what you said.
But
I kind of want
To me,
Drew the win.
Yeah, like to me,
The Scottish King.
I think he's the perfect guy.
That has snobby King of the Ring winner all over it.
And they need main eventers on Raw.
Usually all the King of the Ring people are heels.
Especially heels, like
Drew.
Yep, like he to me is the perfect guy.
You move away from the Shane, and he's the king.
And man,
boom,
his match with Cedric Alexander.
Yes, I forgot about that.
That was
excellent.
That was excellent.
And that was another case of both people looking better, especially Cedric after the match. Even though he lost, he still looked like $1 million.
And it puts,
Drew made him look great.
And it puts in even more of an indictment on this company. It's like your freaking mid card should not be this bad. And like it's like examples like him, like Buddy Murphy in that amazing match against SmackDown. Against Reigns. Like there's too much talent here.
It feels like that now with these new with Eric and Paul, that there's more. They're starting slow to get a couple people over more than just top. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, Cedric, they've been building Cedric up. He looks like a star now. Not a star, but he's getting over. Buddy
Murphy has been really good for a really long time.
They're bringing him in finally, which is good. I feel like it's just a slow. Okay, we got to pick the right spots to get these people in to build them up. They're picking and choosing who in the right spot, and having Buddy Murphy in it. That's a showcase for him. Cedric, just unbelievable match, like we said with Drew. Drew made him put him over in that match.
I tell you though, he sold the hell out of that Claymore kick. My God, to deep. Like that was like
and Buddy sold the hell out of that spear with Roman.
Very Ziggler-esque against Goldberg.
It's like the mirror opposite of. On both shows, they have you got two old cruiserweights. That are there, and they're putting them in highlight spots in the show of storylines,
giving them time to.
Yes,
on top.
You got Buddy with who wants to kill Roman thing, and it's just. Good matches. There's no complaints. I mean, on my hand, I don't think any complaints for those two.
No. And the most important thing that happened this week was the return of Sasha Banks, which I knew instantly. Once she came out, I was like, oh, she's definitely turning. Here.
That's obvious. You come out during the
I was
I
was like,
she's coming out with
there's no way.
Can I say something controversial here?
No. Yeah, sure.
I get annoyed when Natty brings up her family.
You're not the only one that
we get it. Your heart. Stop bringing up Brett. And
it's all she has, man. Like and then
I want to say this without sounding like an ass. It was like the 1 year anniversary of her dad passing. I get that there, because when I was watching, I went and she was talking emotional. I was like, "Don't bring up your dad. Don't bring up your dad."
And that's exactly.
And then she brought up her dad, and she said it was a 1 year anniversary. So I kind of feel like more of an ass. But other than that, like, it annoys because it's too. To me, it's too much. She's laying it on thick.
Yeah.
After a while, I'm like, okay, you're a heart. You're John.
Yeah.
I'm a Matt.
Yeah. It just,
I didn't want to say the last name.
It's not something that I really wanted to hear. And then Sasha came out and, my God, like
came out, took out the weave. And just beat the hell out. And then Becky came out. And then,
And now...
I want to see that already.
Within the span of, like, 5 minutes, the women's division now became must see.
I want to see that match now.
Sasha is the absolute biggest. That was what this division needed in the worst way. Like a competent, legit challenger for Becky Lynch. Like this, like her god awful feud with Lacey Evans. Her like okay feud. I didn't really care about it with Natty, and now this. We are getting the NXT Sasha Banks, which if you recall that was by far her best run within the company was with that. And I absolutely believe now that with her back now, that she definitely got some more incentives from the company. Like I do not
she's winning the Clash of Champions.
Yeah, I mean, like
I think she has to.
She has to, and I think if they didn't have a actual plan in place with Sasha, I don't think that she comes back, because I think that whole thing after WrestleMania was completely real. She was pissed. She was super frustrated, and she was like, "Hey, if you are not going to actually use me, then cut me," because too, she sees people like Alexa, like Lacey Evans, who are good characters, but they are not Sasha Banks. Like,
that's fair. I'm not going to disagree with that.
And Becky and Charlotte are so much better than so many women on that roster, that like these are who you should be building your division around. And now they have a fresh top heel now, I think too they're going to be really playing off the fact that constantly Becky was just taking jab after jab at Sasha within the media. I mean, like this is going to get really personal, really damn quick, and it's going to be exciting.
When she did that, they knew they were going to do that, and it's just setting up.
Yeah,
it's obvious. They don't half the time. They don't do anything without a somewhat of its purpose if it plays out. Do you think this leads to? Okay, we're going to assume Sasha's winning at Clash Champions.
Has to.
Does this lead to? I'm just thinking this when you were talking, a rematch with Becky at Survivor Series, or do you do something like a champion versus champion,
I think
Sasha versus Bayley, if it's built?
I think,
or a team.
I think that is exactly what they should do. They should be building Sasha up as like one of their, if not their top heel, and like Bayley should definitely still be champion because no one wants to see Charlotte versus Sasha again. For the 10,000.
You have the perfect storm of Bayley versus Sasha, or if you do a team with them being captains, and then in the match they face each other, and that
especially too, like there is so much story right there. Like,
and if that crowd will eat that up.
Well, because too with like Bayley, she will go from the standpoint of like, hey, you quit. You quit on me, but I think also she would probably say that I thank you, because then it really forced me to really think of only about myself.
And now I'm champion.
And now I'm champions. But I mean, like there's this. I feel like I believe that would be their real first actual program since their NXT days.
Yeah,
they like faced each other kind of oddly. It was
but
like
I don't think it was
ago.
They had that feud, but it wasn't
weird.
a feud. It was weird. Like they were going somewhere. It just seems like they said, "Okay, no, we're not going there,"
which really frustrated me. I was like, would you guys just freaking pick something? Like, go in a direction.
But but in retrospect, I'm glad I didn't, because now there's more of a real life story that people can get behind because everybody knows what happened. Sasha didn't show up. You have that real life story, so to me it works. It's almost better that they had a feud, they got back together, had the tag team championships, lost, and now they split, and now they're back, which I think it builds a better story than what.
And while on the podcast, or not to interrupt you,
by all means,
I have been reading the NXT spoilers, because they are currently taping. Guess who?
Spoiler alert.
So spoiler alert. Guess who is the next lined up feud for Shayna Baszler?
Is it Io?
Rhea Ripley.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, okay.
I want to see that.
Yeah, like, I mean, like,
maybe they're really stopgapping until Io. They're probably having Io and Candice continue.
Yeah, like,
that makes sense.
I mean, like, Rhea has for one an amazing look to her. Like she is a badass. Like,
that's
through and through right there.
If you let them go, that's going to be just. They're going to beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
I want to see that now.
Like that, I was like, okay, so.
See, this is why I don't watch weekly TV, because he just tells me the spoilers.
And to be perfectly honest, that I mean, like, that's kind of how I do it with NXT. Like, if there's something that I see that is happening is really interesting, I will go and actually watch it. So I mean, like,
I want to watch this. I want to watch this.
But
now.
I have a feeling that this is probably going to be one of the last times that this is going to happen, because I do believe that this might possibly be one of her last tapings, since NXT is rumored to be going live. So yeah, but
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, forgot about that. Yeah, it's almost September.
Anyways, back onto okay, so one thing that another story came down, which I believe this was yesterday. Supposedly, according to Wrestling Talk, that supposedly Ziggler and like Vince had a like handshake deal that with like Vince would cut him if he was unhappy, and supposedly Ziggler asked for his release, and Vince pretty much told him no. I mean, like, how I feel here is Ziggler, you have no one to blame but yourself.
When did this handshake go down?
Supposedly within the last week.
Okay, because it was like a year ago, and then he won it now. I don't think Vince wants to lose him to AEW.
No, like, Vince is not going to cut anybody. He doesn't care where you currently are on the card. You are his, and
he wants you.
And this was the thing that so many fans told him, like, dude, why are you re-signing with WWE? There is AEW. You see guys such as like Cody and Shawn Spears now, Moxley. I mean, like, you like go elsewhere. But no, he really wanted that paycheck there, and I'm like, you know what? Fine, but like, do not complain when you ask for your release and you are not giving it. I have zero sympathy whatsoever.
They need to make him, I was going to sound weird, disappear for a little bit with the mob.
For
and then reset him and come back fresh. Because he's
a joke.
His gimmick right now is to get his ass kicked and want more.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they going with it? I don't know.
Nowhere. I'm sure.
Probably. I don't know. We'll see. But he's a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
To the NFL.
Oh boy. Our good old buddy Antonio Brown. He's at it again. Oh, like I'm when this news happened, I'm currently at work on Friday. I see my phone going off. All I see is Antonio Brown threatens retirement due to a freaking helmet. This man was threatening retirement over a helmet that was obsolete because because the NFL told this man well in a year in advance, hey, you're going to have to change your helmet because it's not safe enough. He was the only man to file a grievance against the NFL because he wanted his old helmet back because supposedly he said that the more updated ones affected his vision. And he was willing to walk away from $30 million guaranteed, which I never actually believed he was going to actually do that. He was just trying to fight and just take another temper tantrum. But
if I'm the Raiders, you call the bluff. Be like, okay, you don't want it, fine. We'll put you on the whatever the name of the list is.
Yeah.
We don't have to pay you.
Well, yeah. So supposedly, if he never came back within 3 weeks or so, they would put him on some list, which basically he would get zero of those guaranteed dollars. And the only thing that he's been currently paid so far, I believe, was a $1 million signing bonus, which I believe he got once the Steelers traded him to Oakland. So I'm sitting back as a Steelers fan, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm
holding my side because I'm laughing too much.
Between that and I'm like, I'm so glad that he's just out of our hair. Now, hopefully, some of these idiots in the freaking national media will stop blaming Ben for everything because apparently everything involving that a-hole was supposedly Ben and Mike Thomas' fault. Newsflash, AB is a head case. He is going to be a head case anywhere that he goes because he's a pre Madonna.
The star power got to his head.
It clearly did.
And then Roethlisberger gets no love from anybody.
No,
and that's a different story for a different day.
Absolutely, it's just I'm just so happy that he is no longer a Steeler. We
missed the production, but I don't want the drama.
No,
last year, that's all anybody talked about was drama.
And that is the
same thing when we got rid of Bell.
Yeah, and that is the one thing.
The rapper.
And that is the one thing you are seeing among some Steeler fans. They are just happy. It's just about
training
football.
Training camp. There was a reporter. I think it was. I forget what station it was. I saw a clip on Twitter, and somebody asked him, what was the surprise team or whatever training camp, and he goes, the Steelers. They were just there, no drama. It was
all business,
man. And still on Antonio Brown. When you do, I was about to say chemotherapy, cryotherapy. When you go into a container or whatever it is that is negative 200 degrees Fahrenheit, you put on the protective footwear or whatever that is supposed to be with that, so you don't get frostbite on your freaking feet. Idiot.
Oh, and did you hear
unbelievable?
Did you hear the latest thing with him? Supposedly he's being sued by his former personal chef for $38,000 because he never paid a single cent to him. Like, and I believe that he still has a pending lawsuit against a personal trainer, which is still going on.
If
It's just so
the
many-
Madden curse lives, it was on the cover, I believe. And what engine does Madden run on for EA? It is the Frostbite engine. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. If I'm the Raiders fans, I would wish that there was a big gust of wind when he came for training camp and that hot air balloon kept sailing. Like, how?
Hey,
Oh my God!
It's not like it's.
I hope they go like 3 and whatever this year.
It's not like that we try to. It's not like that we try to warn you guys. Like, the man is going. He is controversy. Like yeah, he will play amazing on Sundays.
He's gonna get you crap ton of fantasy points, and he's gonna score a lot of touchdowns for you and get a lot of yards and amazing catches.
But every single day,
The drama.
But every single day, you don't know what's going to be coming out of your facility.
We tolerated it for as long as we could.
Mike Tomlin concealed it, hid it, did everything he could to minimize everything that he possibly could with that man. But even and it should have been a giant red flag to every other organization.
But Oakland,
When you cannot work out your personal issues with the Steelers and the Rooney family, I mean,
it's you.
it's clearly you. I mean,
You.
Matt, name the last person to actually request a trade from the Steelers outside of Martavis Bryant. Anyone? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen. And there is a reason for that.
The better question is, who outsmarts the Rooneys or the Steelers and beats them? Nobody.
I mean, outside of
If you're
and Patriots, I mean,
you don't a player like if you're causing crap,
Yep.
don't let the door hit you on the way
Well,
out.
and two, this organization has proven on a yearly basis they can find guys I would not surprise me at all if this year if Deontay Johnson and James Washington have huge years.
Don't we have Moncrief too?
And also Deontay Moncrief, like people are so concerned, how are they going to replace that? I'm like, we have a franchise quarterback.
We had
We'll be fine.
Santonio Holmes. He was the big wide receiver. We got rid of him.
Like Mike Wallace,
Mike Wallace. Yeah,
Emmanuel Sanders.
Sanders is at least still good and talked about. But Mike Wallace, where's he at?
Yep.
Santonio, he's done. But he wasn't. Santonio was okay. He wasn't a head case.
No.
They just got rid of him for probably monetary reasons, whatever.
No, it was
forget.
actually he got in. I think he got.
issue.
Yeah, he got into some issue with.
Was it?
With law, and pretty much that was.
That's
the
right.
last-
I can't believe I
that
forgot. I put that
was.
in.
Yeah, that was pretty much the.
But he got rid of him,
final straw.
and then he fell off. He's still up around. He's not a bad guy.
No, he's not a bad guy.
They just didn't want to deal with it.
No, he did something incredibly stupid, and basically the Steelers said, "You know what? We're not going to deal with you," and that was it.
See, go somewhere else. Yep. And then Mike Wallace, like you said, and then we had Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
We find him. He's a superstar, one of the top players in the league.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
And then we got Juju, and he's another star now. He's in commercials, and
Yeah.
he's just likable. I hope he just doesn't do anything stupid. I'm waiting for it because usually every wide receiver we get as a star does something stupid.
I mean, like the differences with Juju and AB is like he's definitely
he's a people person.
He's a people's person. He's really active on like social media, but it doesn't feel like he's
like an ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuck up.
No,
like he's more friendly. He's in like some video game stuff. Like he appeared in.
It's relatable.
He's relatable. He's young, relatable, and people like him. He's friendly,
Yep.
and he's good.
And my friend who is a diehard Trojans fan, who is friends with a lot of people on that campus, and like he told me, not one single person has said anything badly about that. He's a great kid, and like I mean, like that should speak volumes because you would think at least like one or two stories came out of him, but man, like just like nothing but positive things with Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay, so we're going to move on from the Antonio Brown stuff, and it is a big weekend for MMA. It is UFC 241 being headlined for the UFC heavyweight title between Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. Now, this is their second fight. Their last fight happened, I believe, last
July. I believe,
yeah,
if I'm looking right here.
Yep, last July, where DC won via first round knockout, which that was shocking to me. Not that DC won, but it was
First round.
It was an actual finish, and man, was it was like that was crazy. But yeah, I mean, like I feel like that for this time around, that it's going to be a much more longer fight. Obviously, I definitely feel that this is probably going to a decision here. I still have DC winning here via decision. Who do you?
I'm leaning towards DC too, but I feel like it's gonna be close. A better fight.
Yep.
I mean, Cormier hasn't lost since 182 against John Jones by unanimous decision. But I'm sorry, I misread that. And then he got knocked out by Jones in 17, but it was overturned because it was a no contest because Jones failed a drug test.
Shocking.
He's good. I can't really bet against him. As of this recording, Cormier is the favorite, minus 140. Stipe is plus 110. So he's not that much of an underdog, but underdog nonetheless. I would put my money on DC, but it wouldn't. It's one of those things. Again, I'm casual, so would Stipe win? I wouldn't shock, but I just felt like DC is just on a tear.
To me, DC is just he's a much more well-rounded fighter, and two, he's so cerebral. He's so smart. Like you are not going to like fool him, and I think in this fight he's going to be incorporating his wrestling more. I definitely and like DC is a great wrestler, so I mean I definitely feel that we're going to be seeing that more. It's really hard for me to pick against DC, even against a like Stipe, who is by far the most successful heavyweight of all time, just because I believe he has four successful title defenses, which is the most in in UFC heavyweight history.
Yeah.
So
and doing my research here, and apparently DC's doing better as longer as the match goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Stipe is more quick, and if he can tire out easily. Is that right? I'm not tired, but
I wouldn't exactly say that just because
I'm
I mean like because just to like throw that back at you when he fought on Francis, remember that when he fought on Francis and like
I forget all these fights.
Or no, he was the guy who you had like a money on and like
or DraftKings.
Yeah, for DraftKings and like you picked Francis, and like if he would have won, you would have won some big time cash.
Who did I?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, you.
I don't
and,
remember.
Yeah,
it happens too much.
You and your dad were really pissed off that night. But that fight there, he won a full like 5 rounds, like, and didn't show any sign of like fatigue.
But the big thing is if DC can continue to get better as the rounds get on. Okay.
But yeah, his cardio is. And to like he's such a more dominant fighter at heavyweight. Think about this, Matt. He has not lost a single round as a heavyweight fighter. He's had I believe over 10 plus fights as a heavyweight. And I believe that is true, which is ridiculous to even think about. Like you can make the argument that Daniel Cormier could be the greatest heavyweight UFC fighter of all time, especially if he beats Stipe a second time. So I'm very interested to see how different that this fight is going to be. I still think though that with DC, he's going to be a very hard guy to beat. The only guy who's been able to solve DC has been arguably the greatest fighter of full time in John Jones. So and for the co-main event, the returning Nate Diaz, who this is like Nate's first fight in 3 years. His last fight was against Conor at UFC 202 versus Anthony Pettis. Man, like this is going to be a war. This is going to be a straight up war. Like the fans are going to absolutely love this here. Like this is just going to be two guys who are just going to beat the crap out of each other here.
And Anthony's going in as the favorite. It's just the same odds as DC and Stipe, minus 140 and plus 110.
Yeah, so I mean, I would agree with those odds just because I think Nate, he hasn't fought in over 3 years.
Just about 3 years, according. I think UFC 202.
Yeah. And so I mean, I'm not exactly sure what sort of fire that we are going to begin here, just because it's been for those 3 years. But with that being said, I am still picking Nate Diaz here. Just like with Pettis, he's just too inconsistent.
He's dropped 6 of his last 10 fights, and on he's been doing like the win-1.
Yeah, exactly. Like he had a highlight reel knockout of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson with a Superman punch. By the way, that was off of the freaking cage, no less. That was one of the more highlight reel knockouts that you'll see. Do you remember his fight against Tony Ferguson?
There's a lot of fights I don't remember.
Yeah, but pretty much like Tony he beat the crap out of him, and I believe also in that fight that Pettis broke his hand going into the 4th round, and that's when they stopped the fight there. So I mean, if like Pettis was a more consistent fighter, I would be more confident in picking him, but I just cannot pick against Nate here. Even though I think Nate, his resume isn't super impressive. Yeah, he's beaten Connor in the first fight, but like he's had some really devastating losses to against people such as Rafael dos Anjos, where dos Anjos just beat the tar out of him. Josh Thompson, which that was the only guy to ever finish Nate. So I mean, as of currently, as I said, I got Nate. It should be super exciting. I'm sure that I think Nate he'll be flipping off Pettis during a mid fight, and actually Matt and I are going to the casino to see these fights. So I'm very interested to see what the reaction is going to be with everyone there. So
right.
That should be pretty interesting. Any more thoughts with that fight there, Matt?
No, we can move on to the last fight.
Okay, so Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa, two athletic specimens to say the absolute least. I'm so excited for this fight here. This is just, it's going to be a freaking war here too. Like Yoel, that man's body, as Joe Rogan said, is the most interesting thing that you'll ever see. You would think that he is like on every single substance imaginable, but he's perfectly clean. Like he looks like a freaking Greek god out there. I mean, and fighting against Paulo Costa, who's almost a virtual twin to him. Mm-hmm. So and both of these guys just throw haymakers. So it's going to make for a very fun stylistic fight here.
Yeah, they're both okay, correct me if I'm wrong, knockout specialists.
Yeah, I mean, they can be. Yeah,
there's the numbers here. Hang on. Oh my God, he's I just saw it and I can't find it again. Never mind. I could be wrong, but Costa has an undefeated record going into this, and 12 of his professional wins, 11 have been by knockout and 1 by submission, and he's 12-0 overall. This is a very pivotal fight for him, because I feel like definitely if he beats Yoel, he definitely puts himself right into title contention. And man, 185 right now in the freaking UFC is just, it's murder's row right now. Like they have the upcoming title fight with Robert Whitaker versus Israel Adesanya coming up. I believe that's in October. So I mean, like 185 is just a lot of fun right now. So that should be a pretty good fight. I am picking Yoel here. I think he will win by second round knockout, and I think he puts himself right back into title contention, especially if Israel wins. I definitely feel that fight makes so much sense. But also Jack Hermanson is also another guy in that weight class who might have something to say about a title shot. Costa, is looking at the numbers here, has an output of 8.83 significant strikes per minute, and lands 59% of his takedown attempts, and stuffing 81% of attempts against him.
Yeah,
so that's
he's not taken down. He's not taking down UL.
But
I can tell you that right now. That ain't happening.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going to break. But but he absorbs 5.79 strikes per minute, and so you're going up against Romero, who has that power. It's going to be interesting. And then going into it, odds, Romero is the favorite.
Yes, he should be.
More than DC and Pettis at minus 150, and Costa is the underdog at plus 120.
Okay, and the very last thing we're going to touch on is Conor McGregor once again is in the news.
I laughed at this because I didn't hear about this until I read this in the email you sent me. That's hilarious.
So supposedly in this incident supposedly happened back in April over in Dublin, Ireland. Supposedly
How did I miss this?
Yeah, supposedly a customer at some local bar there refused to accept one of Conor's proper 12 whiskey drinks, and so Conor repays his denial by punching the man right in the head. And this adds on to another of a laundry list of incidents with Conor, man. Like, I mean, like, I just like I have to wonder what are his team thinking right now, like whether it's him assaulting a cameraman out in public, whether it's this here, whether it's like him throwing a dolly onto a UFC tour bus. Like, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about this man's psyche.
Any press is good press.
I mean,
we're talking about him.
Yeah, exactly. But man, like, I mean, like, if I'm Dana and the company, like, I have to say, like,
you probably tell him, hey,
like,
stop.
Yeah, like, calm down. Like, I do not think that this is getting any better now. Like, you just gotta kind of wonder, like, is he abusing alcohol? Maybe a little bit too much. Is he on something? Like, it's just these are things that are coming. I think
he's just playing. I think he has a character, and it's cranked up too much, and he's just going crazy.
I hope that is the case, because the last thing I want to see is him to turn into into like a Mike Tyson, who eventually went to prison at one point in his life.
Could happen.
So
if he does something stupid.
I mean, he's not on the right track, that's for sure. So I'm hoping that he gets his stuff straightened out. And supposedly he's going to be having a fight, according to him, Dana, before the year is over. We'll see if that exactly holds true. Mm-hmm. But I think once Habib and Poirier finishes, we'll probably have a better idea. And also too, with this fight with Pettis versus Nate, we should hopefully have some more answers too.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, Matt, do you have anything else to add before we sign off here?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Yep.
That's all
I think so too.
Stories.
Yep.
I think we talk long enough.
Yep. I think so too. Well, guys, that should do it for episode 4 for this week's podcast. Thank you for watching. Please comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and follow follow us on Twitter. And we shall be back next week. So until then,
have a good one.